Hello, my name is Karina and this is my perfume map. Today I'm going to do a video that was requested, and it is about perfumes without amber. I really appreciate it when you request videos in the comments. That helps me feel like we're having more of a conversation, and it's also good for me because I don't have to come up with an idea for a video. So it's just a really good thing. If you want to suggest a video in the comments, go ahead. I'm happy to try to do it. I will do it if I can, and yeah. So the first one I want to show you, okay, well, let me say, I had somebody say I realized I don't like amber in perfumes. Can you make a video about perfumes without amber? When I think of amber, what I'm imagining is the note or the accord that is something like vanilla combined with frankincense. I think that is how the note of amber is often created. So that might be like a very powdery, slightly sweet, slightly incensey fragrance. And when I think of amber, I also kind of think that if you don't like it, it might be because it's giving the fragrance kind of a vintage feel or like a very wintry feel. So I would say some examples of an amber fragrance, in my opinion, would be like the original Opium is like a very kind of spicy amber fragrance. There's also ambergris, which sometimes is ambroxan. So I have to say before I make this video, I'm assuming that it's the kind of vintagey, powdery, spicy amber that this person is not attracted to, not ambroxan. Ambergris. Okay, so the first one I wanted to show is Loud for Her. This is Tommy Hilfiger. I bought this perfume because it was featured on a documentary by the BBC about the making of this fragrance. It was created in 2010, and the noses are Arlene Gouchard. Oh, I probably butchered that. Arlene Gouchard. And Jan, somebody told me it's Jan Vassenet. And it's kind of crazy. It's like a 3-part documentary if you watch it on YouTube by the BBC. And this is basically a lychee rose patchouli fragrance. It's kind of simple. A very kind of tart fruituli. I don't think it was the success that they wanted it to be, but I still think that it smells really nice. And I think if you like lychee rose fragrances, this is good. And it just has patchouli. There's no amber. It's fresh smelling. It's sort of sweet. It smells kind of pink, like the bottle. The next one I want to show you is this. I just bought another decant. I had like a 2 ml decant, and I decided to get another one. This is Molecule 1 by Eccentric Molecules. This, to me, it's just ISOE Super, and there's been some discussion of like maybe there's more notes in it, but if you look at the Eccentric Molecules website, even there they say that's all it is. And this has a very clean, sort of papery scent. I think it kind of reminds me of like cardboard. Some people think it smells woody, but there's definitely like a paper thing going on for me with this Molecule 1. It's sweet. It smells clean. One of my kids said it smells like the post office. I think that's kind of a funny and accurate description. Just like a papery scent. And some people can't smell this. I can smell it. I don't think it's like the greatest smelling thing in the world. I know some people really, really like it. To me, it just smells like sort of subtle, a pleasant, sort of papery scent, a pleasant, clean scent. It definitely smells like you would just smell like this. It doesn't really smell perfumey. But again, no amber, but it's kind of a woody, musky scent that I think is pretty good. The third one is Casual. This one's from 1995. This is a Paul Sebastian fragrance, and this is a very soapy floral fragrance with a base of tonka. So I think if you don't have amber in the base, it's actually pretty hard. It was hard for me to come up with all of these fragrances without amber because I like amber and it's in a lot of fragrances, especially cold weather fragrances or fragrances that we kind of think of as being cold weather. But this has tonka bean in the base. You need something, I think, to kind of like pull down all those florals. But this is a very soapy kind of jasmine, rose, and citrus, and tuberose and tonka. Very clean, crispy florals. So if you like that kind of thing, there is no amber in there. The next one is Tommy Girl. Tommy Girl came out in 1996. A lot of the things I'm going to show you are very fresh. This is kind of, as we move into spring, I think these like non-amber fragrances will be easier and easier to find. The nose behind this one is Khalees Becker, who I think is like a senior perfumer for Givaudan, if I'm not mistaken. And she's very well known. I actually have another fragrance here that she created. But she's very well known for Love Don't Be Shy. So she's made fragrances for Kilian. She's made things also for Bath & Body Works. She's made like a lot of fragrances that they can charge a lot of money for. But this Tommy Girl has been around for a while, so I think you can get this for about $15. If you like Elizabeth Arden green tea, I think you would like this. This actually kind of reminds me of the Exotic green tea by Elizabeth Arden. This has apple, tree blossom, mandarin orange, black currant, lemon, grapefruit, rose, mint, magnolia, jasmine, cedar, sandalwood, and leather. So there's no amber, but there is like a leathery note, and I think that that's kind of taking the place of amber. It doesn't smell leathery. It just smells like there's something a little bit earthy in the base. Very fresh and light, and very almost tea-like, like a Lipton tea. A lemony tea. So there's that one. This one, I keep forgetting that I have this, and I really, really like this fragrance. This is Halloween. Now, the company who makes this was called Jesus del Pozo, but I think now it's just called Halloween. And it does not smell anything like Halloween. I don't know why it's called that. The only thing I can think of is maybe it was kind of like a take on the idea of like poison for a fragrance. This is actually an aquatic fragrance, and what makes this one stand apart is that it has a banana leaf note, but there's violet and sea notes and banana leaf and petitgrain and magnolia and tuberose and pepper, definitely pepper, and the base notes are incense, sandalwood, Madagascar vanilla, and myrrh. So instead of amber, I would say it had like a kind of resinous incensey base, but it's very, very fresh and peppery. It's pretty. It's really pretty on the skin. It really projects. It does really well in the heat, but it's fun to wear when it's cold too. And I'm glad that I made this video because I'm gonna wear this one. The next one I have is Elizabeth Arden's Bluegrass. And this came out way back in 1936. I think it was the most current version maybe was reformulated in like the late 80s because I see different dates when I look at this perfume. This is a very aldehydic, floral, but more, it doesn't smell like grass, but it definitely smells natural, like you're outside, maybe near horses. I don't know. It's, I think that Elizabeth Arden lived in Kentucky for a while. Or maybe she was really into horses, like horse races. But this is pretty. It has carnation in it and spices and clove. You definitely smell all those things, and the bay leaf. So like clove and bay leaf kind of make it less, it's not a sweet floral. It's like a soapy, lavendery, like aromatic floral. It's really pretty. It's probably very different than what a lot of people have in their collection. The base has musk and cedar and tonka bean. I really enjoy this fragrance, and I have a lot of bottles of it because it ends up in lots. I probably have like 4 or 5 different bottles of Bluegrass. It's also really inexpensive. I mean, under $20 for a bottle. The next one I have is Haiku by Avon. This also is sort of a aquatic smelling perfume. I thought that this fragrance was a green fragrance when I bought it. I don't know why, but then when I smelled it, I was so surprised at how aquatic smelling it is. This is one of Avon's most popular. Oh, it's really nice. It's a nice kind of aquatic scent. It smells more like a nice face cream though. Like it's not a really, sometimes aquatic fragrances kind of have that like laundry, fruity smell. It's not like that. It's more like a fresh air, fresh breeze kind of aquatic. And it has pomegranate and freesia and pear. It's got lily of the valley, peony, fig, tuberose, and a base of musk, sandalwood, vetiver, tonka bean, and vanilla. So I think a lot of things that don't have amber, you're probably going to have a base of vanilla or like tonka bean, sandalwood. That's how they those are all good alternatives to amber. The next one I want to show you is Mon Guerlain. So this is like a little more this is kind of a little more high end than the other ones I'm showing you, not so vintage. You can get this one new today. This came out in 2019, and this is kind of a fancy, this could be like a going out or like a good event, fancy event fragrance. It's also like a really good everyday fragrance because it's so fresh smelling and there's no amber in it, surprisingly. And the top notes are lavender and orange and bergamot. It's got vanilla, Madagascar vanilla, iris, jasmine, sambac, and rose, coumarin, patchouli, licorice, benzoin, sandalwood, and musk. So it has like a lot of base notes that are not amber, but instead there's benzoin and musk. And don't let that licorice note throw you off because it's not very strong. I mean, I like a licorice note, but it's not a strong licorice like in Lolita Lampica. So pretty. This is such a good choice if you want kind of an elevated, kind of grown-up smelling fragrance that isn't ambery. Really pretty Mon Guerlain. Then we also have Bora. This is back to being like a little bit older, a little bit fresher. This came out in 2002, and again, the nose is Khalees Becker. And this has water lily, iris, and orange, tuberose, orchid, jasmine, and orange blossom with a base notes of ginger and sandalwood. This is a very pretty tropical scent. A little bit hard to smell right after Mon Guerlain. But it smells tropical without having any coconut. You really get water lily. It's like a watery floral. With tuberose, a lot of tuberose. Tuberose is always pretty strong. And a little bit of ginger. I don't get a lot of ginger. But again, this is probably under $20 for a full bottle. Bora by Liz Claiborne. No amber in there. And then I have this little bottle of Juicy Couture Peace, Love, and Juicy Couture. I keep telling myself to buy a full bottle of this because you can find a full bottle, like 100 mils, sometimes for under 20. I just haven't done it because I haven't even used up this little, I think this is quarter ounce little roller ball. But this is very different from other Juicy Couture fragrance. This one stands out as different because this has some green notes. The perfumer is Rodrigo Flores Rue, But it has hyacinth and cassis, red apple, Amalfi lemon, poppy, lime, honeysuckle, jasmine, and magnolia with musk, patchouli, and orris root. There's just something very kind of green and patchouli about this. This kind of seems like if you wanted kind of like a bohemian scent, but you weren't ready to like buy like an indie kind of incense type of fragrance. You didn't want something really old school and ambery and heavy and smoky, but you sort of wanted like a bohemian scent. This is perfect because it's light and green with a little bit of patchouli, but it's still sweet, lots of florals. I think this is one of the most interesting Juicy Coutures, and I fear that it might be discontinued, so check it out. No amber in there. And then I have one kind of bonus fragrance, because Libre by YSL does not have amber in it, but it does have what I think is ambroxan, because it lists like ambergris as a note. So I'm not sure how you feel about ambroxan, but this doesn't have like a incensey amber smell. So this came out in 2019, and the notes are lavender, orange, blackcurrant, petitgrain, orange blossom and jasmine, vanilla, musk, cedar, and ambergris. This is such a weird fragrance to me because I do not smell lavender in this, like, at all. It smells almost like grape juice and patchouli to me. That's what I get. So that must be the blackcurrant. Lavender and patchouli can smell similar. It's just weird. I feel like a lot of modern perfumes, it'll say patchouli, and I'm like, that smells like lavender. This one says lavender, and I think it smells like patchouli. So I'm probably just being weird, but this is it's still pretty popular perfume. A lot of people think that this just smells like a woman on the go. I have never been able to fully wrap my mind around the love for this fragrance. It's not bad or anything. I just don't know what people are smelling that's like so attractive to them. Maybe it's the way it smells in the air. I haven't worn very much, obviously, but it does smell like grape juice and patchouli to me, but there's no amber in there. So if you're looking for another fragrance without amber and you want something that's kind of like Sephora designer, there is Libre by YSL. Anyway, thank you for asking me to make this video. Thank you for watching my videos. If there's any other fragrances that you can think of that do not contain amber, leave them in the comments. I know that I have more. It just it takes a while to sift through and find them all. So if there's more interest in like other videos that a note might be missing from a fragrance, go ahead and let me know what that note is that you absolutely do not like. And I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye. Subscribe.